Hey, welcome back to my channel. Thanks for joining. I think we have an epic video today. This one is going to be all about rigging my shed and my workshop with power and LED lights. However, what I'm not going to do is bury a wire or put up a telephone pole. I am instead going to be using the outlet on the side of my house over here, run an extension cord out there, which I can reel up when I'm not out there, but I'm going to put a male adapter in the sidewall over here so that I can just plug the extension cord in, and then I'll have an electrical switch and power on the inside and a row of LED lights. That's the plan. So if you like the idea and you like the video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. I have a lot of videos. You know what? I would be really tickled if somebody were to actually binge my videos. Like for instance, maybe the ugly chair that you see over here. Yeah, I have a video in the making of what we call the ugly chair. I'll make a deal. If you binge my videos and leave a comment for each one, I'll send a warm thank you in the comment section, which you could then create an NFT out of, sell it to some crazy loon out there, make hundreds of thousands of dollars, royalty free, and all you got to do is binge my silly videos. All right, I appreciate you joining. Let's get this party started. LED lights, power in the switch, all running off of an extension cord. Let me show you how I want to do that. Ultimate goal to this plan is to take 5 of these channels, run some LED lights, attach them down here. This is what they call a crystal lens cover. It's not an actual diffuser. I didn't want to diffuse any of the light. I wanted the maximum amount of light coming off this strip inside this channel. At the end of this channel, at the end of my LED light strip, I'm going to put a connector, something like that, so that when I actually run the power supply to these LEDs, I'll have at one end a male connector, and I'll be able to just plug in each one of these channels. And if I needed to move them around, I can do that because I'm going to attach these channels to the rafters of that shed using zip ties. So that's the ultimate goal. How am I going to get there? How am I going to power this thing? Well, I found this on Amazon. This is most commonly used at marinas where you have an outlet with a male plug, which is great for an extension cord. Because while I thought about running a hard wire electrical out to the shed, whether I bury it or run it through as a telephone pole, both of those just didn't really make sense to me because it just didn't make sense. So I'd rather just run my extension cord, because I do have an outdoor outlet, and then just plug in. Once I plug in here, I'll run this wire out the back into my outlet. Now on my outlet, I'm going to break off this little tab, making each of these outlets 2 separate circuits. One circuit will have power all the time. The other one I'll run through my switch. So then this switched now outlet is where I'll plug in my LED lights. So now I can walk into the shed, as long as my extension cord is plugged in, flip the switch, and boom, I should have light. Meanwhile, I'll always have another outlet here for any other power needed out in the workshop. All right, here's our little schematic drawing. We're going to have 5 LED lights strung from the rafters, where each one of them will have a female plug adapter. Then we'll have the male adapters pigtailed into a wire that will be plugged into the outlet. The extension cord goes from the shed directly to the outlet, and I got my power, and the whole thing works, in theory. All right, first things first, let's cut the power supply away from my strand of LEDs. So I'm going to find the first connector right here, and I'm going to cut along my cut line. So I think I can cut on any one of these. Next, let's figure out how long a strand we need. So we're gonna go about there, out to, you can't see it, but I'm making a mental note here. I got to cut here. And that's going to make it fit perfect inside this channel, or at least close enough. Yeah. And I need 5 of these. So let's see if we can just reproduce this 5 times. There's my cut line right there. Now, this is what I have left. Like I said, you've got to have a plan. Not a lot of waste. Sweet. Next, let's solder one of these into the channel. And there we go. We've got 5 LED strips. I think that's kind of pretty cool. I hope this gives me the amount of light in the workshop slash shed that I hope it does, but we'll see. All right, I don't assume the moniker of the impatient woodworker without reason. Yeah, I got so excited about moving my project along, I forgot to record it. So I didn't record me installing my marine outlet on here, but here I can simply take my extension cord coming from the house and just plug it right into the side of the shed. You'll see that I've got these 4 screws here that are going through and are attaching to, come on the inside here, a board I put up. Now I attached this board with 6 1-inch drywall screws just going into the plastic, but since I have 4 more screws coming in from the other side, I think this board should be pretty sturdy. So this is where my power will be coming from the house. It'll run up to an outlet. I'll break the little tab off the outlet so that the bottom one will be live for power all the time, or as long as I have the extension cord plugged in here. But the top one, what I'll do is I'm going to jump over to a switch. The top outlet is where I'll plug in the LED lights so that I'll be able to turn the lights on and off with a switch. So cool. All right. Now, when I was talking about binging my videos, I was just looking around. Yep, I have a video on my buddy heater and how I use a fan on top, not just any fan, one of those heat sink fans, but I did it without having to like chop up my brand new fan. So yeah, check that out. I'll have another video on making a breakfast bar and using the scrap wood from making that breakfast bar to making my pub table. So yeah, plenty of things to binge on. Let's move on and get the wiring done and finish installing these lights. All right, as you can see, I've got my 5 lights strung. Here's 1, 2, 3, 4. We skipped 1 and went with 5 down here. So the next thing we want to do is we're going to solder one of these connectors on each end, because we'll be plugging in directly, and then somewhere in the middle of the wire we'll solder in a T-joint to tie into the power supply to power this whole thing. So next up, let's solder these together. that's it. Let's put our outlets in, covers on, and plug in and see if it works. All right, it's going to be a little dark in here, but I do have a switch. Throw the switch, and voila, we have power. While you're away, I built a little rack for scrap wood, but look at this, 5 LED lights. That has really done a spectacular job lighting up this shed / workshop. Don't look at all that. I'm going to clean all that up. I'm working on it. We're talking about powered lights out here to my shed and my workshop. That has made this project a success. All right, let's wrap this video up. So, what did we accomplish? Essentially, we bought most of our stuff from Amazon for, I'm going to say, less than 80 bucks. I think I've included a list below where you can see all the stuff that I used from Amazon. And then I did run to Home Depot and bought some $2 switches and outlets and plates, outlet plates. So really the whole project cost me, I think it was less than 80 bucks. And it now gives me the ability to take an extension cord from the house, plug it into the side of the shed, and I've now powered the entire shed and provided it with a significant amount of lighting. So I'm very excited by this project. I hope you guys got some ideas from it, and maybe if you decide to take on some of this project yourself for your own outbuildings, leave comments below. Let us know that these videos are actually being watched, if not actually having some of the ideas being utilized. Thanks for watching, and look for you in the next video.